and welcome to my channel. My name is Emma and my channel is called Perfumerism, and today we're going to talk about a bunch of new perfumes. It seems like every brand in the world is coming out of the woodworks and launching fragrances. I've done videos in the past where I've just talked about like my speculative thoughts about new launches, but for this one I did my best to order fragrances, buy samples of fragrances so I could try them out and actually give you some full-fledged thoughts about the fragrances so you can really know what they smell like, if they're worth your dollar or not, based off of my opinion. So let's get into the video. The first fragrance that I wanted to talk about today is from the house of Lake & Sky. They're a really popular clean beauty brand available at Ulta, and they recently launched a fragrance called 1111 Vanilla. This is kind of piggybacking off of their super famous fragrance called 1111, which is supposed to smell like clean linens, white sheets, a fresh day. It's supposed to be kind of this like fresh, airy, mood uplifting. Back in university, my best friend tried to Pavlov dog herself to wear that perfume to go study. So she would put that perfume on and then go to the library. If she was ever wearing that perfume, she had to be studying in the library. Eventually, this perfume became associated in my mind with libraries. 1111 Vanilla sounded great. It seemed like it was kind of like a fluffy marshmallow scent. There were flowers. I thought that based on the colors and everything that this was gonna smell like Killian's Love Don't Be Shy. I was like adequately whelmed by this fragrance. I wasn't underwhelmed and I wasn't overwhelmed. Also, let me show you the way that this sounds. Listen. You do not need this fragrance if you have 1111. It smells very, very similar. The vanilla is so perfectly placed in the background. It doesn't stand out. I don't smell any added floral notes. It really smells exactly like 1111, just a hint sweeter. Like I feel like you could spray this for someone and gaslight them into telling, like just say, oh, this is actually just the regular 1111. And they would probably agree with you. Like I haven't smelled them side by side, but I am very familiar with 1111. I really, really like it, but it feels redundant to have them both. You could always just layer 1111 with a vanilla perfume and get kind of the same result. I already have 1111, you don't necessarily need this, but it's a cute launch nonetheless. Side note, I do want to say the 1111 hand soap is one of the best home fragrance products that I have ever had. It is a really good value compared to a lot of the other hand soaps on the market, and it's just delicious and yummy and amazing, so highly recommend. Next up, I have these three fragrances from Fleur. These are the body sprays, and it sounds like they're kind of building the Vanilla Skin franchise because they launched these two fragrances, Coconut Skin and Caramel Skin. The third fragrance seems to be a milk themed fragrance. It's a lactonic creamy scent called Heavy Cream, and it has this beautiful white bottle, and I'm very excited to try this one out. Now, Fleur recently had a price increase, and it was very significant. I always knew that the Fleur fragrances were around $90, and when I was in Sephora the past week, I saw that the Fleur fragrances actually increased in price to $99, which is a $9 to $10 price increase. Absolutely insane. And they also increased the price of these. They used to be cheaper than Sol de Janeiro, and now it's $33, which is a $5 increase in these, which is kind of crazy for a body spray. You could get another body spray for the price that they increased these. That was a little disappointing. Now, starting off with Coconut Skin, I was excited for this fragrance because I do like coconut. However, I did find this to be a little disappointing. Oh, I'm holding the wrong one. I did find this to be a little disappointing. It has a really strong green note. There's a palm leaf note in this. I just didn't know what to make of it. I wasn't expecting it. I don't know anything that smells like it, and I just don't know if I particularly enjoy the palm leaf note. Also, I have already tried these on skin. It kind of has this, I think I described this as waxy, grainy, sweet, but it's not at the same time. It just kind of has this like kind of bad smell, like a Barbie doll, but with the plastic of the Barbie doll scent. I don't know if I'm loving it. Not a love to me. A fragrance that I do think is kind of similar to give that like coconut milk scent that's not super sweet is Arizona Bloom by Floral Street. This is one of my all-time favorite coconut scents. I think it's done so well. This one does have a green note with the fig, and I just find that the fig and the coconut work beautifully together, and I highly recommend Arizona Bloom by Floral Street before I would go for this one. Now, the next fragrance we have is Caramel Skin, and this is a milky caramel scent. Lots of milk, lots of caramel. I was surprised by how lactonic this perfume is because I really wasn't expecting it. It is so strongly milk and caramel. It's like a caramel latte, and there's also a lot of brown sugar in this. The brown sugar note really reminds me of the fragrance called Mani Cassonade, which is from Navitus Fragrances. And I just find that this fragrance works a lot better than the Navitus one for me. The Navitus fragrance has the exact brown sugar note. I wonder if they were made in the same perfume house. I don't know if I'll be able to find that out, but it's literally like the exact brown sugar scent, but it has a little more going on in the background. I find sugar can sometimes be a bit of like an empty note. So I just find that the added milk notes in here work a lot better. This still isn't a top tier perfect perfume for me. I don't love it as much as I like the original Vanilla Skin. The original Vanilla Skin body spray is so good to me. This one I think is like a banger, good for the price, but not my favorite. Now, Heavy Cream by Fleur is interesting because it's lactonic, but it still has this kind of fresh feeling, I think because there's floral notes. This is a fragrance that immediately takes me back to my childhood. It's silky, a little fresh. There's even citrus in this. It kind of reminds me of like a milky lotion or like, I don't even know, like a sunscreen I would use. Yeah, I find it so interesting because it's supposed to be silky yet light as air, and I really get that like lightness, that freshness. So it's so interesting. I never would have thought of orange and ambrette and salted caramel in here, but it really, I think that the blend is quite pretty, and I think it's definitely like an interesting milky fragrance. All right, next up we have the new fragrance from Maison Margiela's replica perfume line, which is called Afternoon Delight. This is supposed to smell like a Madeleine cookie. It's a sweet vanilla scent. It has notes of cookie, vanilla, whipped cream. This perfume is very strong, which I was not expecting because I find that the replica fragrances, because they are in eau de toilette concentrations, a common complaint about the replica fragrances is that they are not long lasting, not projecting. They're eau de toilette concentrations. The perfume oil is not very high in them, but this was super long lasting, super strong. I hardly needed any. This was a spray and walk through fragrance for me, which is crazy. Usually I go right to the skin, but this one was so strong that I could just spray the air, walk through it, and I had tons of perfume. And I really was pleasantly surprised by this. I think the replica fragrances have done well with gourmands, but I don't feel like they really have a true gourmand. I guess Jazz Club is kind of aromatic, Coffee Break is still aromatic, and By the Fireplace is smoky. I mean, I guess Matcha Meditation was gourmand, but this feels like a true sweet gourmand, and I love the marketing for it. It makes me think of being in Paris, which is so exciting and romantic, and yeah, I just think it sounds really great, and I'm excited about that. I do already have it. I had a little sample that they sent me early, and I gave it to my friend when I was in LA because it was a birthday and I wanted to like give her a little gift, and she is absolutely loving it, so I'm excited. This launches in like 4 or 5 days. I'm really excited to see what everyone thinks, but I really like it. Now I have a brand new fragrance called Smile by Acro. This is the brand from Olivier Cresp, who is the genius mastermind behind Bake by Acro. He makes so many delicious gourmands. You have Awake, which is a delicious coffee scent from this brand. So I thought that I would smell this on camera and let you know what I think. Apparently this was a perfume that he made for his daughter, and it was made just to make her smile. So it was like her happy perfume. She grew up loving it, and then he decided, I'm gonna release this because Acro is his own brand. So it's kind of cute because this is a sentimental perfume just between him and his daughter. Shit, it opens up to this really bright color. Oh, and the perfume box is actually one of these Acro boxes. I've never actually had like a fragrance from Acro before, but I do like the fact that you're getting something more tangible and reusable. I'm actually very pleasantly surprised by that. Oh, and it's bright green color. Okay, Brat Girl Summer. Why is Smile giving Brat? Okay, I don't know the notes of this. I think it's like a fruity scent, but I don't actually really know the notes. So let's just go in blindly. This is my first full-size Acro bottle, by the way. It's kind of exciting. I got this from Twisted Lily. If you're interested in sampling or purchasing it, you can get it from Twisted Lily with Emma10 for 10% off. Oh, okay. Yeah, if I was in high school and I got this, I would be all over it. Yeah, this is perfect. This is like the perfect fruity floral. And I mean, I did just spray it, so it feels like kind of probably seems disingenuous to just be suddenly like, oh my god, it's amazing, I love it. But like, yeah, this is like the perfect fruity floral. It's kind of like sour, like maybe it's a lime note or kind of citrus in the opening. And then the florals are really beautiful. It's not a grandma floral, it's not like a super floral, but it's just that like, I don't even know, is it a floral note? Oh, it's raspberry and sage. Oh, this is so nice. It feels like one of those things we would really love as a kid that gives us pleasure, but kind of more grown, and I feel like you can grow with this fragrance. It has sage and stuff like that, so I feel like it is kind of refined, but I really get the citrusy notes. Yeah, it could be like a lychee. The raspberry isn't super strong. This is not one of those jaw-dropping, changes my life kind of fragrances, but I think it does what it needs to do. It's just kind of like, it's nice. It made me smile. I like it. It kind of, yeah, it's just like a really likable fragrance. I think that the French really like these like fresh citrusy scents for out of the shower. Citrus notes are supposed to give you like a boost, you know, if you ever see a fragrance and it has the word energy or something like that, that's because it has citrus in it, and that's what I get from this. It's like kind of start my day. The bergamot reminds me of Oolong Cha from Nichane. Not that the fragrances smell similar, but just that specific note. The way that it behaves remind me of Oolong Cha, where it's very like, woo, good morning, ladies. But yeah, I'm not unhappy with that at all. I don't know what I was expecting, but I think I was expecting something more sweet and gourmand because that's usually what they have from the house. But I think I'm pleasantly surprised that that's not what this is. This is just like a nice citrusy, fruity scent. It's really good. This is gonna fly under the radar, I feel like. It's a new launch that's kind of like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna change my life, but I could see myself really liking this. And I feel like this would be a very safe fragrance to give someone because it's just, in my opinion, really nice. I guess I like it, but I don't know, I just think it's good. Okay, that's all that I have for now. I do have some fragrances that I ordered for this video, so I'm gonna stitch back in a bit later when I have tried the fragrances, when I have them. See you guys. Hello, hi, it is the next day and my fragrances came so fast. I already got my package from Sephora, so let's open this up and smell some new fragrances. I bought 4 fragrances here, so hopefully we'll find some good ones. I'm gonna go right in and put them on skin. Disclaimer, I will be showing you my first impressions and I will follow it up with the dry downs and my thoughts of the fragrances as they last. So please watch my thoughts with my dry downs, though I do think it's really fun to watch first impressions, so I will show you my first impressions. Just these are subject to change. So first of all, we have Gucci Flora Gorgeous Orchid. This fragrance I don't actually really know the notes for, but I don't really want to look them up. I'm just gonna smell it and raw dog it and see where the scent takes me. Okay, that took a long time. Oh, this is nice. My first impression was like, this is insanely mid, but then I like it. I like it. It's kind of like a nice sweet floral. I definitely get like a vanilla-y kind of warm scent. I could see this as being really easy to put on, something that you'd want to smell when you hug someone. But the florals are really well blended into here where it's not super like floral. It's really pretty. I could definitely smell like maybe a ylang ylang. It's taking me to Ylang and Gold from Micallef. You know, like it's not as multifaceted as that one. Yeah, it's a really nice, simple vanilla perfume. I really like it. I think this one's really good. It's definitely not one that you are gonna be blown away by, but like this is a fragrance that I would show to people. If I worked at a boutique and people came in and they wanted like a really nice, super likable signature scent, that's completely what I get from this. I will have to tell you guys later if it lasts and information on longevity and projection. I feel like that will be a bit of a, you know, an indicator of the perfume, but as far as this goes, this is a favorite so far. I really, really like that. Next up we have, no, don't tell me I bought the wrong, oh, okay. Next up we have Prada Paradox Virtual Flower, which is the new version of Prada Paradox. As you guys know, I didn't really like Prada Paradox, the original, but Prada Paradox Intense is one of my favorite designer perfumes. This perfume I'm thinking is supposed to be maybe a little more sheer. I don't exactly know the notes. I don't exactly remember any reviews that I've seen. I don't know if I've really watched reviews, but yeah, travel size, such a slay. Also, I bought these all myself. I don't know if that matters to you guys, but I was not gifted these from the brand, so these are just my real thoughts. Okay, there we go. We got some. I'm nervous about this one because I love Prada Paradox, but like I feel like I might not like this. I don't know. It smells like Pez candy. Okay, I immediately know what's happening. I smell it and I'm like, yeah, it smells like Pez. It reminds me of like Pac-Man games. How does a perfume remind me of Pac-Man? Yeah, this is nice. It's definitely light, slightly floral. Prada Paradox Intense has a really like neroli, very kind of citrusy, green, fun facet, and this one is very like, it's a lot more neutral. This is a lot more pleasant. It's a lot more work wearing. I feel like Paradox Intense is so romantic and fun and so strong and so head turning. This one is like more neutral, I'd say. It smells clean. I guess there's jasmine. The jasmine is nice in here. Sometimes jasmine I hate, sometimes I love it. It's like good. This is a very neutral kind of floral scent. It reminds me actually a little bit of the Chillin' Soleil from Bulgari, except Chillin' Soleil I don't really think has jasmine in it. This one does have jasmine. I don't know if I like it better than the original Prada Paradox, but I don't like it more than the Intense, but the Intense is like my favorite designer perfume. So next let's try Burberry Goddess Intense. I've actually smelled this perfume before. In fact, the last time I wore this shirt, I was wearing this perfume. This is Burberry Goddess Intense, and I should have posted because I knew this perfume was coming. I love Burberry Goddess. It's one of the best triple vanilla, vanilla pod, vanilla caviar, and a bit of lavender. And I remember when I smelled this in Walnut Creek when I was visiting my friends, I got a lot of lavender in this, more so than the actual original Prada Paradox. I'm just trying to find where it sprays. So I'm gonna put this in my inner elbow and let's smell it. Again, I haven't looked up the notes here. I'm assuming it's just like more vanilla or something, but I don't know. I feel like it's nice to get opinions that aren't just based like me rereading the notes. So I kind of want to just tell you what I think they smell like. So I'm letting it dry for a second. Let's smell. I'm so excited and nervous. This is so lavendery. It's like pure lavender. It reminds me a bit of like a certain type of candy. I don't even get more vanilla. Oh my god, what does it smell like? Is it a root beer candy? Yeah, it smells like root beer, I guess. Yeah, to me this kind of smells like root beer, but like not particularly good. It's kind of like an aromatic lavendery root beer, or like a caramel root beer. What candy am I thinking that smells like caramel and root beer? I guess it might just be root beer that I'm thinking of, but I feel like it's a specific root beer candy. I don't know. I've looked up photos of root beer candy and I'm not seeing it, but this smells identical to some kind of like root beer candy I had as a kid. I could see this growing on me. It's not an immediate love. I really like the original Burberry Goddess, and I thought this would be like more deep and vanilla, which I think it is, but to me this honestly smells a lot more aromatic. I get a lot more of this kind of like cooking spices or aromatherapy, earthy aromaticness in this perfume, and I am liking how it's settling. I think the opening was very, I don't know, but I'm just gonna keep wearing it and let you know what I think, because it wasn't an immediate love, but sometimes those are the best perfumes. And it's kind of changing on me, so I'll let you know in a second. The final perfume that we have is Nest's Vanilla Bourbon, which is right here, Vanilla Bourbon from Nest. I generally really like the Nest perfumes, however, I have no idea what's in this one. I mean, I'm guessing it's a bourbon vanilla. Fun fact that a lot of people don't know, bourbon actually means that the vanilla is from Madagascar. A lot of people think the bourbon refers to the type of alcohol. Like if it was called vanilla rum, that would mean it's supposed to smell like rum. But that bourbon vanilla just means that it's from Madagascar. Okay, next up we have Vanilla Bourbon from Nest, which I'm gonna spray right on my biceps. They have a fragrance called Golden Orchid, I think, and this kind of has a similar vanilla. It's very soft. It's not like vanilla, you know, it's kind of like you have to kind of discover the vanilla. This, I think, gives similar vibes to this perfume, where they're both kind of like a softer vanilla scent. I feel like this is kind of the girl in the friend group that has that kind of like sweet, soft giggle, who's really nice and very like sweet. I feel like I could see that. I feel like based on the marketing, I thought the Vanilla Bourbon would be more deep and rich and stuff like that, and I'm not particularly getting it. Yeah, okay. The reason that this has that soft note and that kind of transparent note is because this has brown sugar, and brown sugar always smells kind of fake to me. Brown sugar notes. I recently did a gourmand ranking video, and I think I talked about it in that video because I filmed it yesterday. Brown sugar tends to have this kind of like sheer, it's not whole vanilla, it's just kind of this thin, like it smells like sugar, I feel like. And this smells like, it's good, but it's not my favorite. It's definitely not the best vanilla that you can get out there. Their other vanillas are better, like their vanilla oil is good. This is just, I don't know. I don't know if they needed to make this. There's so many other vanilla perfumes. Even Nest has vanilla perfumes already, like Madagascar vanilla. I just don't think that this needed to be made. Out of these, I really like Flora Orchid, but I think it's very simple. I think it's one of those fragrances that's kind of just like a dumb, like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna argue that it is better than Delina and stuff like that, or on par with Delina, but it was definitely the most likable, immediately very pleasant fragrance, and I can see this being a bestseller, so I really liked this one. I liked the Prada Paradox because, again, huge fan of Prada Paradox DNA. If you like a fresh floral fragrance, this is really nice, and it's a good summer launch too. I could see this being a really, really nice, just like spring, summer for the floral girls. If you like Miss Dior, you'd like this, or Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, like those kind of watery, not super heady florals, just kind of like a fresh flower bouquet fragrance. This is really pretty for that. The Burberry Goddess Intense, at this point, I can't really tell how I feel about it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of root beer. I think I like the original Goddess better, but I think where it stands right now, it's just kind of okay. It's not my favorite. I kind of wish for more, but again, I didn't like Burberry Goddess when I first smelled it, so I'm just gonna hold off on my thoughts because I might end up loving this, because the first time I ever smelled Burberry Goddess, I hated it, and then a few hours later, I was like, oh my god, I need this, and now I have 2 bottles, so it might change. And then finally, we have Vanilla Bourbon from Nest, and it might be because I've smelled so many fragrances back to back today, but I just think this is kind of redundant. We have so many fragrances in the industry that smell like Vanilla Bourbon, and this to me is just kind of like fake and not as good as I thought it would be. I feel like I can't even smell very much from this, so definitely not a favorite, which is kind of disappointing because their Golden Nectar is a really nice vanilla perfume. Their vanilla perfume oil is really nice. They also have a vanilla perfume body mist, and it's good, and I just think this one didn't necessarily need to be made. Sorry, Nest, but that's just kind of how I feel. So guys, thanks so much for watching my video. I'm currently traveling, so this is what we're getting for a little outro. I just wanted to say thank you so much for like following me and subscribing. I love giving you guys videos every Sunday, so I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here. Let me know which fragrances really stood out to you, which ones you're interested in picking up, or other fragrances that you want to see in the future. I love your recommendations, so please leave me them below. As always, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. My user on everything is perfumerism, and also all these fragrances I'll have linked to in the description. Bye guys.